Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
A bit dramatic, I know, but there's a saying where it says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And after months and months of rejections, of viewing your applications, of ghostings even, something has to change. Something on my end, my resume, my presentation, my portfolio. Bar the constant that is my previous experience, there are ways we can navigate a different perspective. When I was laid off 7 months ago, I held catch-ups with various people I felt could help me in my next steps of my career. One of them informed me about the concept of Agentic AI, which is a very prevalent conversation topic right now, funnily enough. And while Gemini and GPT are not true autonomous Agentic AI models, we can still pretend in a way just through the input from myself, where I will try and guide it as much as possible to give the right prompts that I'm trying to get. What I'm going to do is get ChatGPT and Google Gemini to act as a recruitment agent within the design services space. To even the playing field, I'm going to be using the default models. No community created GPTs, no plugins, just purely the default interface. If I'm going to be using a document, I will be copying and pasting that document into the window just to work around any nuances between the two tools. And to even keep it more fair, I'll be using both tools side by side, recording my screen, asking both tools to suggest the next steps in my career, given the resume input that I give, as well as highlight any things I should mention or focus on. Beyond that, I don't know, because I'm filming this before I do the experiment, so any deviations or unexpected exploration will be happening live in that recording. So let's do this. All right, let's get into it. So first is the prompt, where I am telling it it's a design recruiter and to analyze my resume and suggest the career options that I could consider, listing suggestions on why they are a good step, and also strong points as a prospective hire and any weak points I should address. Here, I am literally copying and pasting the document, my resume document, into the window within inverted commas. Sorry, brain fog. I got a cold. Press enter, copy this exact same prompt into Gemini. You can see specifically mentioning that it doesn't have resume analysis yet. So let GPT go through first. And then I go through the thing and I'm like, all right, cool. If it can't do resumes, maybe be more generic in its terminology. So I go, this document, you'll see there, analyze this document. And I want to see how that behaves from here. Yeah, lo and behold, there you go. It even uses the words resume again. But, that's one point to GPT, I guess. And then looking at all this, yep, strong points, areas of improvement, next career options. Looking across the Gemini, very similar in terms of results. UX UI designer, creative director, content designer, marketing designer. All very similar things as to GPT. So then I'm just reading through all these things here, just taking it in real quick. And then I give it a prompt going, referencing the current job market. So the current state of the world within the design industry, what would be the next best step within this professional creative industry in regards to the best skill development and salary growth, which you'll see me here type. Again, into Gemini and enter, and let's see what we get. So looking at Gemini and GPT, so web designer, social media manager, interior designer. Note that GPT also gives approximate salaries, which Gemini does not mention. So I'm just going through here and I'm like, all right, cool. Creative director looks like good, because who wants? Everyone kind of needs to be on six figures these days, and I have high expectations and ambition for myself. So looking at Gemini, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go a bit more deeper and more contextual. So I add the context of my resume and I go, referencing my resume, what is the best option in their opinion, in GPT or Gemini's opinion. Copy and paste. And then here we get a more contextual answer, which is more relevant to my previous experience. Just looking at how the answers are given as well, GPT from a UX perspective, purely reading UX perspective, is a lot more easier to read, as you can see, because the way the text, titles, and paragraphs are presented, you get a more better idea of information hierarchy, which I value as a designer in general. Google Gemini, you can see it's a lot more tight knit, and you kind of have to just take your time when it comes to reading that information. But yeah, you could see here that I am just looking at the roles, and I'm like, okay, so we kind of have to deviate now because it's given me two kind of different pathways where GPT is giving me one direction, Gemini is giving me another direction. So the deviation is pursuing a specific job title per tool. So in GPT, I liked the role of design strategist and the way it's given me that information, and I like what I read there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So if I want to become a design strategist, what are the next steps I need to do to move forward, make me highly employable within 3 months? So we also gave it a time constraint. 3 months is 3 months. It was just, I just pulled it off out of the air. Be ambitious, aim high. And then with Gemini, I just chose experienced design lead. Same prompt, different job title. And then you can see here, Gemini gave me the next steps, but you can also notice that it doesn't give you, as you can see on the left with GPT, a timed structure of presentation to the information. So yeah, in GPT, month 1, month 2, month 3, and it gives you like steps on scaling up and building your skill set to make you more employable. Looking at GPT, I'm like, all right, cool. So let's try and break it down into steps, because it didn't give me steps. It just gave me activities. It kind of like glitches a bit. So it's like, I don't have access. And I'm like, when I read that, I was a bit confused. So I kind of just took a step back and be like, all right, let's be as clear as I can when it comes to give me a time frame, basically. So here, all right, can you break down? I think I read that. Can you break down the next steps? Can you break down the previous answer into steps? Take it over in the next 3 months. There you go. And there you go. So it's able to give you more chronological steps and activities to do over the next 3 months. And yeah, this is where I stopped recording because I needed to take time and read the information here. Well, that was an interesting experience. I am no AI expert, and I probably have a collective experience of 5 hours or less across all AI tools. So this was new ground to me. The information in terms of quality and volume between ChatGPT and Gemini, in my opinion, was relatively similar, with GPT leading the pack in terms of presentation and informational hierarchy. Made it easier to read. It's interesting to note how each model or each tool was trained and what kind of information each tool had access to, given the slight deviation that happened at the end between the two models and the suggestions. And in terms of next steps, I will probably pursue the design strategy route, just because I've always had an interest in design strategy. Whether I can do that in the 3 months is besides the point and is a matter of subjectivity. I'm happy for input and feedback from external people who are more senior and more in the know than me. Call me, DM me, I'm on LinkedIn. And yeah, as of this recording, I have one job interview multimedia designer, and whether I get that or not is besides the point. I just wanted to explore these tools and see what they could yield. And yeah, this was fun. This is something I didn't expect to do, and I just felt it was on the nose when it came to the matter of AI today, and it was a fun experience. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't know, whatever. See ya.